Yes, any news of this one, Cynthia? Smuggler camps? Dark moons? No, of course not. Issue has only lived a good, honest life. Please, you must find this one's Jakajit. She is so young and innocent and probably terrified without her papa. Whatever will Issue do if his Cynthia is harmed? May bright moons watch over you. Oh, really? Well, Issue supposes his family has grown over the years. But how could this one not seek their companionship? Their little faces, their tiny paws. His darlings love him completely, demanding little but affection and food. And belly rubs. But of course, mostly. She and Medwick don't always get along, but Medwick is older and doesn't always like to play or be teased. And just...
I warned you, Thunderbrutes. And so the other thorn in my paw arrives.
Sing it loud, sing it clear. Fighter, lover, poet.
I told you, did I not? First time was a warning. Now it is a threat. You both leave town. No more investigations. No more sticking your snouts where they don't belong. Collect your things and leave. That again? I told you Issue's daughter left Riverhold years ago. He's just a delusional old Khajiit caught up in a fantasy. And for this you tried to ruin my little operation? Of all the things! Who I am does not matter. What I can do to you, on the other hand, should be of immediate concern. You either leave Riverhold on your own, or you leave in peace.
So it appears that your strange friend is Rideza the rogue. Good. Let us just say that her reputation precedes her. Well, threats to our life aside, it seems that we finally have a perpetrator. Now we just need to follow her. We are investigators, are we not? You must search for a trail. With any luck, she'll lead you straight to Issue's daughter. Meanwhile, Mizik will alert the proper authorities.
Those were fresh sugar claws!
We must follow the jelly trail. Quick! There! Rideza must have stepped on the jelly from the sugar claws. You must follow her trail while this one alerts the guards.
that one has voices in his head.
Getting old is no picnic, but the alternative is a lot worse.
Is a lot worse.
Curse your meddling!
Rid of the roll. Caught at last.
Did you find my daughter? Where is she?
Here! Your daughter is right here, you old fool!
Rideza! You're the one who stole Cynthia? Oh, this one's poor Jakashit.
Ha! Feeling a little jealous? To go so far as to steal your father's pet.
You think that Ridza the Rogue is finished? When I came back to Riverhold, I went to see my fool of a father. It's been years since Mother and I left, and I was feeling sentimental, I suppose. Stupidly sentimental. He didn't even recognize me. Of the cat? No, I just wanted to make him suffer. He's always been obsessed with his damn pets. That's why Mother left him, you know. He's so caught up in his little family that he didn't have time for us. For me. Maybe you're right. Just another delinquent with papa problems. Isn't that just the way?
Well, it seems that our investigation has come to a successful close. Though not quite in a way that Mizik was expecting. In hindsight, it makes sense. When you were told that Ishu's daughter left town years ago, Rideza must have been speaking of herself. Still, to have been chasing Ishu's pet this whole time. This is true. Because of our dedication, Riverhold no longer has to deal with these vile smugglers. And let us hope it stays that way, yes? Mizik just needs to collect our reward. Why don't we meet at the Banished Regrets? Drinks are on Mizik! Just as soon as he is paid, of course.
calls to him. Moonlight serenade at my whim, dancing among the flowers by.
A family reunited. A smuggling... Of course. Your share as promised. After all, music would never... A safe town, a happy client, and an investigation expertly solved. And a five-claw partnership, if music does say so himself. What more could this one ask for?
In the dreaming deep, chasing the butterflies he sends, hoping that summer never ends. Sleep
After such a successful investigation, music is hopeful that more clients will come forth. We live in turbulent times, Walker. Dragons, tyrants, necromancy. There is no end to Elsewhere's suffering as of late, and yet so much is overlooked. Those in power have priorities, and the petty problems of the common folk, they tend to be on the very bottom of this list. That is why we must look after each other. If music does not offer his help, who will?
all before me now, sharing their secrets joyfully. They're bright in hue, yet darkly dire. They warm me with softly glowing fire. They're bright in hue, yet darkly dire. They warm me with softly glowing fire.
Of course. But first and foremost, it is music's passion. That is why this one takes the name Thunderboots. If he cannot work in the name of justice, then he will not work at all. This, he swears.
Following all the gemstones.
Music's investigations take him many places, so it is hard to call one town home. But he's enjoyed his time in the Riverhold. He has a comfortable tavern room and a steady supply of clients. Well, a steadier supply of clients. Honestly? Just the one. A bard's flute was stolen while he was drinking in the tavern. He was very certain another musician had stolen it out of jealousy. Quickly, it turned out to be the innkeeper who stole the flute. This bard could not play in tune to save his life, and it was driving away business. So, music suggested that the bard seek another tavern. A happy solution for everyone involved.
Watch out for Tajiri.
Kingdom. But fear now. A warrior raises
Abnor Tharn will not end the dragon infestation, Chimera.
Ever the voice of reason, Speaker. Ah, here comes someone who can help us now. You must be here about my summons. Good, good. I was just telling Lord Gareshri and Chimera that someone would answer my call. Since you're here, I presume you will wholeheartedly agree to help us save Elsewhere from a rage of dragons? So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were in the process of trying to liberate Rimmon when the great creatures arrived. Stay focused. We can deal with that later. Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. We'll rendezvous at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected several surges of power that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Hard to say with certainty, but I don't believe so. They remind me of Sir Cadwell, who somehow opens portals with a power of similar intensity. Check the locations I marked on your map before you make your way to the defense camp. Lord Gareshri is the Speaker of the Main and the commander of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. His aide, Chimera, serves as both a diplomat and a spy, though she would never call herself that. If you want to know more, feel free to ask them. My half-sister, Euraxia, conquered Rimmon and other parts of northern Elsewhere about 6 years ago. The Khajiit Defense Force has slowly been taking back their province, but Rimmon is well fortified. And now, because of the dragons, things are worse. A militia drawn from the prides of northern Elsewhere. Gareshri, the Speaker of the Main, has taken command during this crisis. With Dominion troops busy fighting the Three Banners War, the Defense Force must deal with the Euraxians and the dragons. Never heard of Cadwell? Don't tell him that. Cadwell may be the oldest soul-shriven in Cold Harbor. For all his eccentricities, he's certainly the most sane. Fancies himself a knight of old. If you find him, secure his help against the dragons. What do they teach young people these days? You've never heard of the great Abnor Tharn, advisor to emperors and battle mage supreme? No? Well, take my word for it. I'm a very important personage. You should feel honored to meet me.
You're responding to Abnor Tharn's letter, one of the promising adventurers. I hope you can help us. But where are my manners? Welcome to Riverhold and the province of Northern Elsewhere, also known as Anequina. I am the Speaker of the Main, a position in which I've served faithfully for many years. I represent our spiritual leader, the Main. In addition, I command the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force during this time of trouble. We're dealing with more than just dragons, unfortunately. A few years ago, Abnor Tharn's half-sister Euraxia conquered Rimmon and parts of Northern Elsewhere. We recently liberated Riverhold and were about to do the same for Rimmon when the dragons appeared. It's almost as if they came to her aid. Do what Abnor Tharn asked. Just as he once served as advisor to emperors, he has agreed to help me formulate strategies and tactics for use against the dragons. It is the least he can do, since he had a hand in setting the horrid beasts loose.
Another outsider comes to Elsewhere, as if we did not have enough problems between Abner Tarn and the dragons. Ah, do not mind me. Great beasts rampaging through my homeland tends to put me in a foul mood. I am Kamira. I assist the Speaker of the Main and serve as his agent. With both the usurper queen and the dragons ravaging northern Elsewhere, there is much for me to do. Too much, I fear. But I will persevere. What can I tell you that you cannot guess? That these fearsome creatures of legend have returned to threaten Elsewhere? That much is obvious. Damn it. This is all Abner Tarn's fault. Dark Moons, take him! That arrogant Imperial! For an advisor to emperors and a renowned battle mage, he demonstrates a disturbing lack of caution. It was Abner Tarn who entered the halls of Colossus and released the dragons. He says that was not his intention, but... What do my beliefs matter? Dragons have come to Elsewhere, destroying everything I hold dear. As the Moon Singers say, the path to oblivion is paved in good intentions. So, damn Abner Tarn. Damn him for unleashing this terror upon us.
No, Azazi. Never touch a Daedric monster, especially a dead one.
Don't be such a nervous Nate. The dead can't hurt us. But where do you think it came from?
It stinks of Cold Harbor. Perhaps one of the Usurper Queen's lackeys summoned it, yes?
Don't touch the dead thing!
I saw you, traveler. Why do all outsiders insist on acting? I watched you go from location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head. Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Or are you simply a deviant who enjoys skulking and slinking through the wilderness? Oh, do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Why else would you be visiting the same places that he did? Unless... Are you an agent of the Usurper Queen? Euraxia, the hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about enough of that when I talked to the man with the pot on his head. Ugh, you sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhold. Just stop skulking around.
Uncanny. It looks... Hello. Have you come to pay your respects to this poor fellow, too? It was the strangest thing. I was looking at this very gravestone in a dream. So here I came, and there it is, all solid and everything. Important? I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream, after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull and stepped through a door, and then pish-posh, honours a bantam gua, and here I am. Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy? The surges were probably just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact location. Now, why don't you take a look at the gravestone and see what you make of it? Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender, if you can imagine such a thing. Naturally, I gave them the old heave-ho. Foul smelling, I'll have you know, that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by bantam gua you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one. Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Grook was standing a little too close when I opened my portal. Poor thing fell in and took a nasty spill. When the neck bone snaps, it makes an awful sound. Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I ever met him. I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? I don't have a clue. Dragons? I haven't battled a dragon since... You know, I can't remember, but I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Of course I'll help. I'll just need to do a little more digging into this dream. Did you hear that, my trusty shovel? Dragons and mysterious raids. It's just like old times.
Oh, now I discouraged it. But not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We are the betrayer. There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to hound me. No matter. We can deal with that later. Right now, I want to know about Cadwell. Has he agreed to lend us his support? That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast returns? Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the Khajiiti moon singers guard the secret history. Their tales led me to the halls of Colossus. But let's save this for a less dangerous time. Tell me about Cadwell.
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail rocker, it truly does. The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold, but we were determined to press on toward Rimen. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Retreat is not an option. Not yet. Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters, documents we cannot afford to lose. Search the ruined camp and locate the documents, Walker. They are vital to our efforts to free Rimen from Euraxia's rule. And if her forces acquire them, those who help us will be exposed. Recover the documents from mail sacks in the camp and get them to Captain Nalado. Then meet us to the south.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them? This one doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here? Right, moons! This one thought these were lost forever. You saved many lives at great risk to your own walker. You have Nalado's respect. This one will guard these documents with her life. That was one of Euroxia, the Usurper Queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Now, Nalado must return to Riverhold and consult with Garashri. We must find a way to go on. Euroxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side. Find Abnortharn and Carmira. Tell them to meet us in Riverhold.
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. Was your hunt successful? Did you recover the documents that Chimera sought? I must join them there. The Khajiiti forces have been decimated by this attack. It will take every strategy I can devise to help Gareshri prevent the collapse of his militia. Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Foom and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind a miasma of stench and decay. It leads to the mountains to the west, but I can't pinpoint an exact location. Good idea. Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. Better to deal with them now, before Euraxia's power becomes more than we can contain. In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. I wanted to send Chimera with you to find the source, but I have no idea where she's gone. Find the source of this army of undead, and if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which is a dangerous combination. I'll make my way back as well. After all, Gareshri would be lost without me. In case you haven't noticed, we two don't always see eye to eye. She can be impetuous and obstinate, truth be told. Chimera gathered a handful of soldiers and took off to the west. If you run into her, send her back to Riverhold.
Oi, Wanderer, you have some time?
I did not expect to see you in this desolate place, Walker. Did Captain Nalado send you? Or have you come to join us as we hunt the dragon that killed so many of our warriors? Then our missions coincide. We can work together to destroy the undead and slay the dragon. It will be glorious. When we finish with the hunting and the slaying, we can report our success to Lord Gareshri. I do not take orders from that old battle mage. Besides, the blood of Khajiiti warriors cries for vengeance. To disregard that cry, that is not a shame I can bear. No, I must do this. I must strike back and show my people that hope survives. The worthy life is full of risk, Walker. I assumed you knew that, given what you do. I will tell you a secret, though. Before my parents died, they gave me a pendant. As long as I wear it, Jode watches over me and provides his protection. To Jode, yes, but also to my family and heritage. I suppose you could call it an heirloom. It helps me in my role as agent for Lord Gareshri, and that is all I will say about it. Now, let us go inside and find the necromancer and the dragon. With me! Stay close! We will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. The path splits here. We will go right. Walker, you stay left. Moons guide us.
Feel the cold touch of lingering death!
No more excuses. No more delays. The enemy body marches ahead of Euraxia's forces. Enough, little insects.
Dragonfire, move!
Your weapons, little morsel. Mulamnir would talk to you. Look upon Mulamnir in despair, morsel. You have no chance against me, no chance at all. But Mulamnir wants you to understand the challenge before you. Our puppet, Euraxia, commands a legion of soldiers, an army of necromancers, and a horde of undead. Add my dragon brothers, and the hopelessness of your cause becomes obvious. You and Abnathon are insignificant. But even an infinitesimal flea can irritate after it crawls beneath the scales. I offer you one last chance to survive. If you and the battle mage leave elsewhere, my brothers and I will not hunt you down. Then you will die, but not before we slaughter your friends and set fire to elsewhere. Once we reduce this land to so much ash, only then will I tear you apart. Leave elsewhere, little morsel. Tell the battle mage, if I see you again, you will die.
Are you all right? I heard what the dragon said. Perhaps my confidence was a bit misplaced. That creature was much bigger than it appeared when it flew over the camp. I never jump without first knowing where my feet will land. Also, I have very sharp claws. We lost so many today. The dragon, that Mulamnir, it has much to answer for. We defeated the necromancer and shut down one of their undead foundries. We need you and Tarn, despite my dislike of the man. But what the dragon intimated about Euraxia, it called her its puppet. I fear the dragons control the Rimmen throne now. Yes, you must do that. I will join you after I take care of the remains of my soldiers. They died bravely and deserve to receive the proper sacraments. Go to Riverhold. I will see you there.
we've had this conversation already, then I wanted to thank you for the useful advice. But if I haven't seen you since our talk at that mysterious gravestone, which seems much more likely, then I could really use your help. Did I mention the dreams? Visions, really? They come and go without warning, like seeing through someone else's eyes. Quite disconcerting in an interesting sort of way. Anyway, my trusty shovel and I, we searched that entire grave, and it was gone. The betrayer's head, the dreams, the visions, they drew me there, but someone got to it before I did. I have the strangest sensation in the pit of my tummy. It could be the cobweb porridge I had for breakfast, or something bad is about to happen. Well, that's sort of like leaping from the cliffs of failure without a rope, or at least without tying the end off first. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. Oh, Abner wants to see you. He's in the town hall with the Cat General.
At this point, we need to come up with a plan that takes into account Euraxians, necromancers, and dragons. I proposed a few options, but Gareshri wasn't sold on any of them. Tell me, what of Chimera and the source of the undead? You paint a troubling picture, my friend. Still, we need to celebrate every victory we achieve. I fear such triumphs will be few and far between. Do you have anything else to report? My half-sister likes to think that she's in charge. She won't take kindly to being called a puppet. As for leaving elsewhere, I think not. Obviously this Mulamnir fears us. Otherwise the dragon wouldn't have deigned to talk to you. Every conversation I have with Cadwell makes my head throb, but one mystery at a time, if you please. Now, if only I could get my half-sister to listen to reason and see that the dragons are using her. A parley? I may not like her, but we are family. Besides, it would give the Khajiit time to regroup. You're beginning to think. A parley with Euraxia is a capital idea. I'll send word to Rimmon to expect us. I imagine my half-sister will treat us at my station and agree to the meeting. Attend to any other matters if you must, then see me when you're ready to leave. It just so happens I already have one. It involves distracting my half-sister with wit, charm, and words she barely comprehends. Oh, and you. Euraxia never could resist a pretty face. You'll pretend to be my bodyguard and personal valet. Consider it obfuscation to hide your true purpose. We don't want to give Euraxia a reason to react poorly to overtures of reconciliation. Not that I expect to reach an accord, but still. Meet me in Rimmon and we'll enter the palace together. Go on. I'm capable of traveling to Rimmon on my own. We'll meet up at the city gates and go to the palace from there. I'm relatively certain Euraxia will honor the parley, but be prepared for anything. She's still a Tharn, after all. We're not very close, in case I haven't made that abundantly clear. Euraxia is an accomplished mage in her own right. My younger sibling has always been ambitious, but I didn't realize the extent of her aspirations until the Frostfall coup. About 6 years ago or so, while Emperor Varen was busy with his rebellion, Euraxia took advantage of the confusion to lead a column of Nibonese mercenaries into northern Elsewhere. She declared herself Queen of Rimmon and its adjacent fiefs. Of course not. The Khajiit call her the Usurper Queen, remember? Once Varen became emperor, he had other problems to worry about. Same with Queen Irene. As long as the Alliance war occupies her forces, the Khajiit are on their own out here.